Boom, we are live. Sportsbook betting insight today, Wednesday, April 25th. Pauly and Teddy live today and tomorrow. Can't beat it. At Real Sportsbet on Twitter. He's at Teddy_covers. Quadruple header tonight in the NBA playoffs. We'll go through 3 of the games. We'll turn the shot clock on, talk about a particular team in the West, if there's some value in their chances to make the finals, and a big show coming up. ROI today, Major League Baseball so far. It's been a strange start to the season. Top 5, bottom 5, and pitchers and teams as well. Bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books, Teddy. Always important to get the best number. If you just want to throw some pizza money on it, that's fine. But the Celtics go from 3 to 4 to 4.5. It hit 5 here in town at the Win, and down 4 with 1.6 seconds. The Bucks foul. Horford makes 1 out of 2, and Muhammad says, nah, not going to bother. He doesn't shoot off the missed free throw from beyond half court. Celtics win. The total went from 204 down to 202.5. Celtics lead the series 3-2. Home teams won all 5 games, and the Celtics get the money.
Sure. And you want to talk point spread drama, Pauly. There was point spread drama in all 3 NBA playoff games last night. This one, looked like Boston was the right side. And then it got real dicey for Celtics backers in that final minute or so. But the Horford free throws made all the difference for the side bettors in that game. Of course, the total got steamed under, and that was never in doubt. Bettors cashed in with that line move.
You got fortunate. I know they were up for most of the game, but how about they didn't call the shot clock violation on Horford? That was big. They got free throws off that possession and milk clock. Also, how the hell is that not reviewable? You can review everything in the NBA. You can't review a shot clock violation with a minute left in a pivotal game 5? Come on, NBA. Now, you're right with the shenanigans in this one. I had the Heat. I'm cold. Loser. Oh, man. I mean, this is, again, I'll get to the story in a second here with the second half. The Sixers just won the series in 5 games and never led it to half. So the Heat fouled down 11 with like 27 seconds left when the Sixers are going to dribble it out. And then the Heat foul, and then Wade dribbles it out. Doesn't even bother to shoot down 13.
Sure, and of course, Wade, it's a class move. I couldn't blame Dwayne Wade for doing what he did. And yet, anyone with a Miami ticket in their pocket, myself included, Paul, we're like, come on, just jack up a 3. I'll take a push out of this. I'll take a half-point win, depending on where you got the number. But once again, we're talking about point spread drama, lines being set in a range where it's right on the number in the final minute. Of course, the game got steamed over the total, 211.5 up to 216.5. That was a wrong move. Game stayed under by margin. Bettors got the wrong side of the total in last night's Heat versus Sixers game, and Philly survives and moves on.
I hope you took our advice. If you watched the show yesterday, the Heat were one of the worst teams all year in the third quarter, even though they were a playoff team. But it was the third and the fourth quarter in this series. Game 1, the Heat led by 4 at the half. Lost by 27. Gave up 74 points in the second half. Game 2, they won, but they were outscored by 4 in the second half and won by double digits. Game 3, they led by 1 at the half and lost by 20. Outscored 32-14 in the fourth quarter. Game 4, up 5 at the half, lost by 4. They only scored 41 points in the second half and were outscored 27-19 in the fourth. And then last night, tied at the half, outscored 34-20 in the third quarter, Teddy. Let's give Brett Brown some credit. Made all the halftime adjustments in this series.
Sure. And when we think about how to use this information moving forward, Philadelphia making the appropriate halftime adjustments in every game against a well-coached Miami Heat team with Eric Spoelstra, who knows his X's and O's. That is something worth noting. Philly second halves, perhaps Philly under second halves, something I'll be paying a lot of attention to as they move on to the second round.
One more, the late game. The Warriors move on. They win in 5, although they were up 12 with 5 minutes left. The next thing you know, it's a 2-point game with 30 seconds. The Spurs get the money. The Spurs finished the season 1-15 straight up on the road and 1-9 ATS in the last 10. 1-15 on the road straight up. They only win at Cleveland late February. And now the big offseason, they got to sit down and meet with Kawhi Leonard.
Sure. And meanwhile, Golden State survives and advances, gets out of the series in 5 games, gets a little chance before R&R before their next series against New Orleans. But The offensive issues for Golden State, they were not efficient offensively in this series. Certainly not at the level that they are when Steph Curry's in the lineup. Playoffs might be a little bit shorter than people expect unless Steph Curry gets back pretty soon for these Golden State Warriors.
Talked to Jeff Sherman today at the Westgate. He makes the Warriors an $8.50, $8 series favorite without Curry, $16 with Curry. Juicy take back on the Pelicans there, with or without Curry. Bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books. About a bad bet? White Sox. It seems like they take money every day, Teddy. They only have 5 wins, 135 down to 110. They lose. And the Rangers, plus 115, went off the favorite. Hamels pitched well, but the A's have won 9 of 10 now.
Yeah, exactly. Oakland's the hot team, and yet Texas takes the money. Well, why? The market's like Cole Hamels. Guess what? Hamels pitched well. Didn't make a difference. The hot team won the game. Texas's bats are ice cold. And, you know, you love the steam on the teams that are 5 and 15. Knock yourselves out, wise guys. The market money pouring in on the White Sox. Let's see. Pitching was good, but they got shut out. That's a bad bet for those who made it.
Yeah, people who were there said about 3,000 people, too. It's a shit show right now with the White Sox and the weather. Bad for the books. Look at this team. Rockies, Padres under 11.5, down to 10. 8-0 final, 7-0 in the second inning. The Reds, they've won 2 in a row, plus 115, bet down to even money. They win again, 9-7 in extra innings. And this is ridiculous. It's stealing money. Yankees, it's a gift. $1.25 up to 150. They own the Twins at home. Regular season and playoffs. They also usually beat them up in Minneapolis. I think that's now 28-9 at New Yankee Stadium, regular season and playoffs, and they roughed up Barrios in that one.
Sure. Barrios coming off as big a start he's ever had in his life in that game in Puerto Rico where he pitched, an absolute gem. Hard for a young hurler to match that level of intensity twice in a row. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be bad for the books a lot when the New York Yankees win. They have proven to be a very popular team among casual bettors so far this season. Steamed up yesterday. Easy money, as you mentioned, if you had the Yankees on the money line or the run line in that.
And how about the Blue Jays? They go from 105, plus 105 to off the favorite. They win 4-3. Red Sox 3 straight losses after the hot start, Teddy.
Yeah, I mean, Boston 17-2, but now showing signs of coming back to earth. And of course, one thing that we like to do a lot in MLB, you look at any given 20-game span, and when a team really overachieves or really underachieves, we've seen Boston start coming back to earth. We've seen Cincinnati win a couple of games. You find teams off a really ugly 20-game span or a really hot 20-game span, you bet on or against them the next 5 or 10, maybe got a chance to pull up a decent profit. Certainly, Red Sox faders have been cashing in the last couple of ball games.
I love to talk about this. This is fun. I think this can help you out as well. This is very helpful. And Covers.com does a great job. Most profitable teams, top 5 and bottom 5 ROI, pitchers, totals, and teams. Let's start with the teams. The Red Sox lead the way. You bet $100 every game on the Red Sox. You're up 11 units. Right there with the Diamondbacks, who won again last night and beat the Phillies. Number 3, the Mets are plus 980. The Angels are plus 780. And the Brewers checking in. First place Brewers plus 630. At the bottom, even with the 2-game winning streak, the Reds are down 11.5 units. Orioles down 9 units. White Sox almost 10. Royals 9.5. And the Nationals, Teddy, right? Dave Martinez not exactly working out. They're struggling under 500. And it's still a lot of respect for the markets, down 9 units as well.
Sure. And when we look at these early season ROI stats, for me, what I'm looking for is maybe a team you didn't expect to be there. We know how good the Red Sox and D-backs have been. The markets aren't sleeping on the Mets or the Angels. But the Brewers, sneaky good in early season play. They were a team we spotlighted before the season started as a potential bet on. There they are, a top 5 squad. They're not in a major market. They're not on TV a whole lot. Milwaukee, a team with relatively low expectations. They get a chance to be a real profitable team moving forward as well. And the bottom 5 ROI, the one that stands out to me, is the Nationals. As you mentioned, the other 4 teams are garbage.
Yep.
The Nationals are supposed to be good, and they're going to be priced like a contender in so many of their games because they've got the aces in the starting staff. Washington's not winning. I cashed a ticket against them last night and the night before. I'm in no rush to start betting the Nationals right about now.
All right, most profitable starting pitchers. Pavetta with leading the way. They won all of his starts, plus 5 units. Thor as well. McCarthy, this was going into yesterday. McCarthy was plus 450. Skaggs plus 414. Porcello, although they got the loss yesterday, but he was $4 as well. The Red Sox finally lost a start that Porcello made. Bottom 5 pitchers ROI. Duffy leads the way, down over 5 units. They haven't won a Duffy start yet, the Royals. Urena, 5 units. The Marlins are 0-5 when he starts. Lopez, 420. Kershaw, look at this, Teddy. 416. And he's 380 today against the Marlins.
And that's the beauty of Kershaw. Of course, remember, Clayton Kershaw has legitimately been a nightmare for every sportsbook director in Nevada for the better part of the last 5 seasons. Because the Dodgers win over and over and over again when he starts. It doesn't matter. You could have shown a profit betting on every Kershaw start at minus 400. I'd even priced that high over the last 4 seasons. So bookmakers very happy to see the Dodgers lose a couple of games with Kershaw on the hill. And if they continue to lose with Kershaw on the hill, he'll end up being the worst ROI pitcher in all of baseball by the end of the season, because they're going to keep laying $2.50, $3, $3.50, $4 every time he takes the hill.
Trimming the hedges. So terrific timing out there as we go live. Overs and unders. Archer, all 5 of his starts have gone over. Leak, all 5 of his starts have gone over. Gonzalez finally played an under. He's 4-1 to the over. Gray, Cool, and Montgomery, all 4-0 to the over. Unders, Manaya, the throwing Simone with the no-hitter. All 5 of his starts have gone under. Aaron Sanchez, all 4 of his starts have gone under. And then Pavetta. Look at this. Hamill and Bailey. You think two names that don't fit. 4-0 to the under as well. And a while back, you had that sick run with Paul Emmel, home plate umpire. How about Marquez? 6-0 to the over as well. Some people like to track umpires as well. I know Paul Emmel had like that 24-2 run. It was ridiculous. Remember that a couple years ago, Teddy?
Sure. Paul Emmel's got a pretty wide strike zone. Marquez, not known for having a particularly wide strike zone. In fact, I've read complaints about him that his strike zone is a little bit dicey, which is bad news for pitchers. That's an emerging overtrend worth paying attention to moving forward. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.